Welcome to the Real Talk Weekly podcast, where we discuss news, culture, life, and dive into deep conversations about our faith. Here's your host, Alan Reed.
On today's show, we have a very hot gummy bear story. Tom Cruise is going to space, the Fat Shaming Bear Week Challenge, and the new study suggesting infidelity may be contagious.
You didn't even say hello. You just got right into a
spicy. Hey, everybody. Good morning.
Fire.
Welcome to the Real Talk Podcast. I'm Alan Reed, host of the show, and we have the entire gang here.
So
I probably don't need to say that anymore. There was a season where it was hard getting us all together, but
at me next time.
But we're back.
But James is back. So.
Allie was out for one too.
I was out for
Yeah,
one.
Yep.
We did one without her.
David and I are the only consistent ones
Yeah.
that really care, but
You guys are the real leaders.
yeah.
We literally recorded two because David wasn't going to be
We
here.
got a
but
good
it's fine.
lineup here. Gummy bears, Tom Cruise, fat bears, man. And then
I can't believe you brought the
suggesting
fat
that
bears.
infidelity can be contagious. That's what the study kind of
That's a
shows.
spicy
So that'll be,
take.
very
It's a
interesting.
very spicy show.
It's a very
Yeah.
spicy gummy bear show.
So let's get warmed up with our icebreaker. You guys just told me to pick one, so I just randomly
just
picked
pick
one.
one.
Just don't ask me to go first.
James.
No.
Have you ever left a 1-star review online?
Ooh.
Yes, I have.
Okay. Who and what?
And why?
Okay, I
Or
won't tell
maybe-
you who, but I have left a 1-star review. So customer service is a big deal to me. And I think we talked about this in a previous episode that, listen, I worked retail. Okay. I also worked food service for 4 hours, but I worked retail. So I understand that you need to have some patience and some courtesy with retail workers and stuff like that. But I also understand customer service goes a long way. And a smiling face and a friendly attitude and all that kind of stuff really does matter, because you can't control everything. You know, you're just following the rules. But if you're nice, polite, kind, and all that kind of stuff, then you can make it easier for the person on the other end who doesn't like what you're having to say. So I have totally left 1-star reviews, but I'm not that person that, you know, if you go to someone's reviews on Google and they leave a bad review and then you go click on them and all they ever do is leave bad reviews, because I don't know if you know this, but you can see people's reviews.
Oh.
You know, if they want to
know
make
that.
it public to where your 1-star shows up on your page, they have to make this stuff public. And so you can go look and see, this person, all they ever do is
man.
complain. All they ever do is
Alan
say
is
negative
outed
stuff.
now.
So like with me, if you ever looked at my reviews, you'll see positive reviews as well. Like I'm also the person equally that will send an email to a company, to the boss saying, hey, Allie did a fantastic job. I just wanted you to know that we came in, we had a really rough time, and Allie did her best to make it right. Or we just had such a great experience because of Allie. So I've done it.
Okay. So
Yeah.
you've done it, and it was for bad customer service.
Bad customer service, just terrible customer service.
Yeah. Allie, have you ever?
Yeah, James hates me because I am the person who only leaves the bad
negative
review.
reviews.
But for me, it's not that I complain all the time. It's just that it was literally so bad.
But do you do it all the time?
No, just when it's really bad. I have left multiple. I've left two. One was Zio's Italian Kitchen in Oklahoma City, and I would not recommend to literally anyone, even on their worst day. They have an open kitchen.
She's angry.
This place is packed full, and we watched the chef yell the F word, throw the pan in the air, and leave. So there's no chefs in the kitchen.
Whoa.
Everybody has cleared out. There's about 20 waiters and waitresses trying to get their orders in, yelling at each other. Open kitchen. So everybody is sensing this. People are getting their drinks 15 to 20 minutes after they arrive, and they're just leaving. People
Maybe-
aren't paying for their food.
They just had a bad day. You know.
I
So
don't
it sounds
think
like the chef
so.
threw a fit and left, and then
He
they
came
go,
back. He came back, but there was somebody's food that sat under a warmer
That
for
would be
20
horrible.
minutes. I
That
was
would be
worried.
bad.
Yeah.
There was also a local company who I will not mention the name of, mostly because I don't remember, but
It's not
they
Walmart.
had their logo blasted on the side of their truck, and the recklessness at which they were driving around me and everyone else going through like rush hour traffic in the morning to work and school was mind-boggling. Just like waiting for death.
That's
And
why I don't put fish symbols
yes,
on my car.
don't do it.
I didn't know that Corey had his band name on the side of a van.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. So
No, that was when he was driving the church.
Oh, okay, okay.
The
So she looked
church
about her name for the
trailer.
church.
Oh,
That's
gosh.
a company.
I let them know. I said, I don't know how their work is, but if it's anything like they're driving, then they shouldn't be in business.
Yeah.
Poor representation of the company. So
yes.
don't mess with me. I will come for you.
Yeah, that's bad. Yeah,
Next.
David.
I'm a very passive person. I wouldn't say I can be passive aggressive. and certain things, but I'm a very passive person. So like I don't leave reviews, and I've dealt with some really poor customer service looking at you, AT&T.
Yeah.
But
I don't know.
but yeah, I usually don't. And even if I have a poor experience, I usually think like, okay, if I was in this person's shoes and if they were just having a bad day, I'll try to be as nice as I can. Sometimes I just kind of lose my wit, and after being on the phone for like 5 hours, and you're like, just fix my problem kind of thing. But other than that, I don't go online and Google and leave reviews. I might have left a review one time, and it probably was a 5-star review. So
I was just thinking, David's so passive aggressive. His nasty reviews are 4 stars.
Yeah.
And no comment.
Yeah. just why the 4? Because. And that's it.
You'll never know.
I don't think I've ever left a 1-star review or 5-star or 4-star, but I have,
3 though?
I have
Twos and
verbalized maybe my dissatisfaction with customer service. One time I left a penny as a tip.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. She followed me out to the parking lot and threw it at me. No kidding.
And you said,
Yeah. And I was younger. I was like 22 or 23, but it was awful service. And I was trying to make a statement, and evidently it got through.
It worked.
Yeah. But if I was older.
Is that why you have a scar right here?
Yeah. That's my chicken pox scar. But
he talks about that chicken pox scar all the time.
Really is a penny.
Yeah. Now that I'm older, I'm like, man, I should have gone right back into that place and talked to her supervisor.
and her parents.
Because it was awful service. I mean, I'm not that kind of person, but it was that bad. So, but anyways, yeah.
I'm always afraid if you're even if you're getting bad service at a restaurant, I'm always afraid that if you say anything or do anything before you get your food, they're going to spit in it.
Oh yeah, me too. I wouldn't.
And
do
I'm
anything.
like,
I'm always very courteous. McDonald's doesn't matter where it is. I just always very nice.
Well, no, because then they can still spit in your drink, and
chances are the food's not good though at that point either, right?
I mean, it just doesn't taste good because you've had such bad experience. There's a bad taste in your mouth.
Very good. So we don't have too many complainers in here besides Allie. I mean,
yeah, Allie's the worst.
I know. Allie's literally the
Just
worst.
have high standards.
The worst.
Just don't try to kill me on the road. That's all I'm asking.
I'm actually really glad Alan's story finished the way that it did, because I thought he was going to say, I don't think I've ever left a review because I don't know how.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I thought that's where he was going to go with.
Just because I'm 50 years old doesn't mean I don't know how to use technology.
Somebody asked me one time, because they listened to our podcast, they said, does Alan even watch movies?
I know who that is.
Does Alan know television?
He knows I
Friends.
don't watch a lot, but when I do watch it, I'm not like, oh, who's that person there? I don't know. I just don't know actors.
You don't care about
actresses.
pop culture, you enjoy a film.
I'm above that.
My wife has this fun game. This is a total rabbit, but
fine.
whatever. That's what the show's about, right?
Yeah.
You said you don't know famous people. My wife has this. It's fun to her. To me, it's mildly annoying. Just she knows it, so it's not like I'm saying something she doesn't. But every day she'll pull up IMDb and ask me how old actresses are, because like actors and actresses, because it gives like a birthday list, and so I just have to sit there and guess their ages. And I'm like, and what's the best to me is whenever she's like, random person's name, I don't know who that is. They played this in this movie, I don't know who that is. They were also this and this, I don't know who that is. Like, how many times do I have to tell you? I don't know who it is.
Wait, so you just outed yourself that you and Alan are equal?
Yeah.
Well, no, some people. But
some.
she thinks it's
Good
fun
save.
to
You're
like
like me.
to like ask me actresses.
You like me?
Don't
You're
make
like
me.
me.
Don't lump me in with you.
All right, let's get into the stories. We have some good ones.
It's time for the dish.
Let's start with a very hot gummy bear.
Oh, I love this. I love this. So this actually came from a faithful listener who sent it to me directly and said, hey, I want you to talk about this on the show.
It's not one of the 4 of us.
It's not one of the 4 of us, but we're not the faithful listeners.
We live.
It's either my
Live.
son
real talk.
or it's...
We have more than just your son as a faithful listener.
That's true. We do. We have a few. Thank you guys. For
You literally couldn't think of another person.
Everybody else who's faithfully listening is like, well, they don't even know who I am. So I actually looked this up, and this is a real thing. And it's just really funny to me. But have you heard of the Lil, L-I-L apostrophe, Lil Nitro gummy bear?
Never in my
No.
life.
Never.
Lil Nitro is
I'm glad
the
I'm hearing about it
world's hottest gummy bear. And you know, when you buy gummy bears, they're in a package, right? Like with lots of little bears in it. No, this is like a single gummy bear
Tiny?
that is the world's
Giant.
hottest gummy bear.
I'm sure it's tiny.
It's like 3 ounces and it's one gummy bear. So,
3 ounces. Mm-hmm.
but Here's what's really funny about this, and I'm going to get to the story in a second, but this is what the package says. Consumer, beware. This is not your ordinary gummy bear. From the company name, yada, yada, yada. And it actually says, like, a customer warning, don't eat this. So imagine, if you will.
It's so cute.
It is kind of cute.
No.
You know? Gummy bear. But Odessa, Texas, pharmacy that has this gummy bear on the shelf.
A pharmacy?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mistake
a pharmacy.
number one.
Because pharmacies have, like,
Random stuff.
Like, you go to Walgreens, you can
Oh,
buy milk.
sorry. I thought you meant it's like in the pharmacy
It's
section.
Oh,
medicinal.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
medicinal.
I was
It's a
like-
medicinal gummy bear. If you're having sinus problems, this bad boy will clean you right out.
Or if you just want to die.
Digestion
yeah,
problems.
or if you're like, anyway,
It's actually an enema.
Odessa, Texas, a 16-year-old goes into the store and steals
No,
the Lil Nitro,
that's what they get.
right? He steals the Lil Nitro.
Yeah.
The pharmacy actually thought about putting up a sign that says customer warning, this is really spicy. So the dude goes in, 16-year-old kid goes in and he steals the gummy bear. And then he goes outside and he eats it. And within minutes, he's back inside the pharmacy going after drinks because his mouth is on fire.
Oh, yeah.
And they're like,
Serves him right.
Instant
Yeah.
retribution.
like instant, because it was like, this thing is so hot. And it just makes me laugh that, like, the dude stole this thing, then ate it near the pharmacy, and then had to go back into where he stole it from to get drinks to, like, cool the sensation that was going on.
The impressive
in his
thing
mouth.
was he did this in front of his girlfriend.
He did.
So she's frantically trying to help him, and he's laying on the floor in this pharmacy.
Oh, my gosh.
Wait, there's a video with this?
There's no, it's just, it kind of
Yeah, it
explains in the
it.
article.
So the employees were so concerned about the reaction he was having. They're like, do you want us to call an ambulance? And he's like, no. So it says he reportedly rolled over, lifted his shirt, and pointed to his stomach and said, please don't. I'm okay. I just ate something really spicy.
And they instantly knew.
They
were like-
what
They
it
knew. They were like,
was.
all right, we knew. And so then he was like, I need a trash can. I'm going to vomit.
Ew,
I'm like,
ew,
this
ew.
whole thing is just so funny. Like, he walked over to the sidewalk and started heaving. And this girl came into the store that was his girlfriend and was purchasing more drinks for him. And it was like, he had just eaten something really spicy on an empty stomach. So I don't know if it was because he ate it on an empty stomach or if this thing is like, I'm morbidly curious. I want to
bet
go
you
We need to
find
figure
one.
out what it is on the Schofield. Like,
Oh, no, it had that.
It does?
Yeah. So the Schofield rating, and I don't know that much about the Schofield rating, but I know the higher the number you go, the more it is. And did you do the Hot Wings challenge?
not
over,
here.
over the
no.
summer a couple
I
years
did.
ago with Shay. You did? Okay.
And
You
Alan.
did? So David's the only wuss in the group. So we did it.
Yeah.
And I don't
Yeah.
remember what the Schofield numbers we had. And I survived that, which is crazy because
Yeah,
I
it
don't like
wasn't,
super
it wasn't as
spicy
bad as
things.
I thought it would be.
It wasn't good.
I was in pain later, Alan. Thank you for you diminishing my
I didn't
experience.
And
eat
you
the
sound
rest
very
of that day.
sensitive.
I
to
didn't either.
spicy
I just
foods.
brought bread.
But I was with our friend Alec, and I wanted to hold my own, so I just pretended like it didn't hurt. Full confession for anybody that watched it. But they also made me sing Golden Girls. It was a bad time. But anyway,
You were
back to
just
the Schofield.
drunk on
Yeah.
spice.
So back to the Schofield rating.
Can't say drunk.
So the Schofield rating. Okay, before I tell you the number, this thing is 900 times hotter than a jalapeno pepper.
Oh, dang.
900 times hotter than a jalapeno pepper. It rated 9 million
Oh, dang.
on the Scoville scale.
9 million.
It's over 9,000.
So, what's that? That's over 9,000.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a couple more zeros.
So I'm like 9 million on the Scoville scale. Like I know it would be like, suicide, but I kind of want to get one. I kind of want to bring some in here and have us try them.
Yeah,
on the
bring
show.
it.
Okay, so she's looking up the hottest peppers, and this one called the Carolina Reaper
Yeah, the Carolina Reaper.
is like 2.2 million Schofield units.
Wow.
So
Now it's 9
that's
million?
9 million.
It actually talks about the
What is
Carolina
that?
Reaper in here.
It seems
up
like
pure
something would be so
capsaicin.
hot after a while that
What did
it's-
you say to me?
Look up pure capsaicin.
Pure?
Yeah.
P-U-R-E?
Yeah.
That's
capsaicin. Yeah. pepper.
What? Capsaicin?
Yeah.
He said peer. Anybody else hear that? Peer. Instead
I
of
thought
pure?
he said peer too.
Okay.
16 million. So
Ugh.
capsaicin is 16 million.
It's
But
all
still.
just, I think once you get beyond a
I think-
million, it's
What do
probably
they
really
make?
bad.
I also just think Lil Nitro is the worst possible name for this little gummy bear.
Well,
Nitro makes me think of like coffee, like cold brew.
oh, see, nitro makes me think of trinitrotoluene, which is dynamite.
I think of nitro as in like
Nitrous oxide.
Whatever you put in cars to make them go faster.
Nitrous
same.
oxide. So last little bit about
That's
this.
a movie you've seen,
Interesting.
right?
Last little
Too
bit
Fast,
about this
Too Furious.
Yes.
is that this
I've
gummy
seen
bear
Stupid.
comes with a cool shield foil wrap
Rip
and an
all
ice pack to ease the pain because you're going to need it.
Jeez.
So if I can find one of these, I'm totally getting it and bringing it in. We'll cut it into little pieces.
I
and
will
we'll
not
see.
be
I will not
participating.
either.
You can do it by
I'll
yourself.
find a way to be
Yeah.
gone.
No
That
way,
might be the
guys
last
are on the
episode.
ground.
On
Yeah.
Yeah, he's alive, probably.
Lil Nitro. Go see if you
Nice.
can find one.
Yikes.
Okay.
See if we have any listeners brave enough to try it.
Probably not.
Okay. Let's hear about Tom Cruise. Is he going to space?
We always want to hear about Tom Cruise.
I feel like this is the next step for him.
He's got a tooth in the middle of his
I think
face,
after the Top Gun movie, I think he's this is his second wind. Or
He's already
third
been in
wind or-
space.
He's been
In
everywhere.
Top Gun.
That's
too.
true. He did.
He's
Now
already in
he's
space.
literally going to space, like
He
for
is
real, right?
Legitimately as Tom Cruise going into space. Not as he will be a character, but as himself will be going into space. So he's already known for doing all of his own stunts, right? He's had a couple of stunt doubles here and there, but Mission Impossible, Top Gun, all these wild things. I think there's something to say about the Church of Scientology in there, but I'm not going to go down that road.
Yes.
So, anyways, where he might go next, no leading man has gone before. So he is supposedly going to space for his next movie role.
It's not just space, right? Like he's going to do like a space walk.
He is taking a rocket up to the space station
That's my dream.
and shooting and
love to do
hopefully becoming the first civilian to do a spacewalk outside of the space station.
That would be awesome.
I mean, of
How
all
are they going to
people,
film it?
It's Tom Cruise.
Of all people.
Yeah.
It's
they film it. I mean, I've seen other people do it, so they've got little cameras evidently they can put out there to
yeah.
watch
I mean,
it.
it's not the best.
It's not.
It must not be
It's gonna be so
dangerous.
interesting.
You know, like our government tries to protect us from everything, wear your seatbelt, blah, blah, blah. You know, it's like maybe this is no big deal. Maybe just walking in space is like, as long as you're attached to the space station, you're not going to get hurt. You're just going maybe
I'm not gonna mess
15,000
with
miles
it.
an hour around the earth.
I would do it.
I would.
I would
do
do
it.
it. That'd be awesome.
No, to be launched up there, you're literally like vertical.
That would be awesome.
Ugh,
that would
makes
be
me.
awesome.
But there's no
nauseous
gravity
thinking
up
about
there,
it.
so you don't feel anything. I would
The
do it.
force of getting into space,
Oh, I'd be unconscious.
I hardly even like
That's the
take
best
off
part.
from a plane.
Yeah.
It's like you're
Just
sleeping and
pass
then
out.
you're just there.
and you're just there.
yeah.
But
Unless
do
it
you not know
explodes,
about Tom
so.
Cruise's uncentered face?
I don't care. He's an attractive man still.
He is, I'd have to admit.
Yeah, his tooth is in the middle of his face.
His tooth is in the middle of his face, like where people usually have a divot. And I think it's more that his nose is just crooked.
Well, he's done all of his own stunts. He's probably got his face
Dental work.
Yeah.
jacked around a few times, but I'm excited for it. I think
I'm too.
box office
I'm happy
sales,
for him too.
if it happens, are going to be through the roof just because he's so
Yeah.
just phenomenal. So I'm excited to see it. Supposedly the story is about just like one guy who's kind of down on his luck, and he's the only person who can say planet Earth
So every Tom Cruise movie.
every Tom Cruise movie ever.
So,
He's the only one who can
Allie,
save
you're
us.
risk averse. So have you ever done anything dangerous before? Anything that would be considered risky? Eaten something hot, like gummy bear?
I did
or-
a 100-foot free fall.
You did? Okay.
I mean, I was attached to something, but I still had to you walk a plank, and it's at the end of a zip line course, and then you just fall. But if you jump, then you go down head first. So
I bet
just,
you were screaming.
the entire time.
See, that's pretty good.
It took me 3 walks, and then on the 4th one, I finally did it. So
That's good.
yeah, it was okay.
Proud of you.
I would never do it again.
Good story.
Ever.
Good story. Cool. All right. We got one more, and this one is the fat shaming bear challenge. It's just like
I still can't believe
really,
you brought
this is
shaming.
what we're going to do. We're going to embarrass
Really?
bears. And
Oh,
I don't know.
they're
I think it's a
so
cute story.
someone else brought this up. I didn't know this was a thing, but now that you,
So
I don't think it's advertised
It's
well.
not a
Let me
thing.
say that.
Unless you work here and then you just walk by someone's desk and all you
yeah,
see.
so
for
there is a
several
worker
weeks.
here
there is.
on the media team that celebrates
Obsessed.
Fat Bear Week.
It's
like
not you.
nobody, really, literally nobody. So some people like March Madness, and then some people like Fat Bear Week. Most of us would probably agree that we like March Madness more than
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Fat Bear
Yeah.
Week. But anyways, the concept is the same. You are pinning up giants of the industry against each other.
They're not really
You put a lot of thought
competing.
into how you were going to present
They're
this.
not really competing. I guess, I mean, they are.
No,
but
they
it's not-
are. They
They're
are
competing.
Who's fatter?
I mean,
More
Do
fat?
they even know the other exists?
No. Well, yes.
Sometimes
They all
they do.
fish in the same spot.
Oh, they do.
Yeah.
Maybe in the girl bears if they fight over the same.
Are you going to explain it? Are you going to explain
Yes,
what
I'm
it
going
is?
to
Okay.
explain it. So every year, the Katmai National Park, I hope I pronounced that correctly.
Never heard of
It's
it.
in Alaska. Does this Fat Bear Week. And so what they do, they take a picture of a bear in, say, June. And then they take another picture in September. And so essentially, the bears are preparing for hibernation. So they're going to eat.
bulking season.
It's bulking season for these bears. And boy,
Do
are they
they?
bulky.
Yeah.
So essentially, you vote. They pin two bears against each other and compare like how much weight they've gained over.
Yeah, they create a bracket.
Yeah, and so people can go in and vote against which bear was going to win against the other bear, and then it comes down to the finals, and then one bear is named champion. But this year,
Can I just stop there and say that for the last 3 years, since I've been introduced to this, I have chosen the champion at the start.
well, there you go.
So you've known about this.
Yes,
For the last 3 years.
yeah. The media team has known about this for the last 3 years.
See, I think Shark Week is advertised well,
Right.
and then Fat Bear Week isn't.
Fat Bear.
No,
Yeah.
and this is part of raising awareness.
Yes, that's really what we're doing here.
And I'm really hoping that
PC
we can
police is probably not happy.
raise awareness so we don't have to hear about it every year. We just know. Looking at you, Jeff.
No, he makes posters and he puts them
Yes.
everywhere.
So essentially,
Sweet.
He has not chosen the winner.
this
at all.
week has they've chosen a winner this week. The people have spoken, and the winner of the Fat Bear Week is number 747, the bear, and aptly named Bear Force One.
I love it. I love it.
Incredible.
What a great name for a bear! But if you look at this bear,
This
boy,
bear would fill our studio.
yeah, he's a
He's
chunky
fat.
boy.
Like, I'm pretty sure he's bigger
Chunker.
than my truck.
As the kids say nowadays, he is a chungus for sure.
Is it? Is he over 900 pounds? Is it-
They say that he could be 1,400 pounds.
He big boy.
He
That's
is.
He's ready for
He
winter.
is a bear.
Wait,
of
is he
force.
done bulking? Or I don't really
Oh,
know.
I'm sure that they keep bulking until they fall asleep.
Holy cow. That's what
Right?
happens?
I mean, that's what I do.
Yeah,
I went through a season of bulking.
I mean,
I'm so sorry, Ashley, that happened.
What are you apologizing to Ashley for?
Well, this is I had a season of bulking that I've never really kind of
Yeah.
come back.
He
It's been
forgot to
bulking
cut.
season.
He forgot to cut after
Were you trying to be a
Yeah.
weightlifter, or did you just have like
No,
stress
I
eating?
was just eating a lot, and it was in seminary, man.
It's
it
an
just-
emotional time.
yeah.
We won't go there.
I like Fat Bear Week because I think it's cute.
There are a lot of cute bears out
Fat
there.
animals are
Yeah.
adorable, like fat cats, fat dogs.
I just like the baby version of everything, and baby bears are so cute.
Yeah, they are cute. But if you're interested in this, it happens I think the first week of October every year. And if you go to explore.org, you can vote for said bears. But since the competition's over, Bear
can't.
Force One has
What
won.
about the scandal?
Apparently there was a scandal this year.
Oh,
And I guess this is a secondary story of the main story. Apparently, they had someone hack into the voting system, and a favored bear had
Russia.
lost.
This is.
I think
It was
they
Bear Force One.
photoshopped.
It could have, yeah, it was Bear Force One, and so
I think it was the Russians.
it
No,
was probably
it was
They caught the guy.
Kris Jenner. She's always photoshopping her children.
It was a bear hater.
so. They
Wow.
rectified the situation, and Bear Force One eventually won because of the fake votes.
Somebody was trying to get Holly. I'm so ashamed
Why
of
are you
myself
so
that I know their
invested in
names.
this? Yeah.
Because I just want to beat Jeff every year and suffer every year.
Well, he picks the same bear every year, so.
Yeah, I didn't.
I
don't.
just want to be the person who names the bears.
Yeah.
I love Bear Force One.
I do too.
I think it's a great
good
name.
I do too.
Yeah.
They also there was a subgroup that wanted to call him Bear Plane. but I
Both
like
good.
But I like Bear Force One better.
Yeah, Bear Force One is good, but let's not fool ourselves. Bears are extremely dangerous,
Yeah.
and if you see one, do not go pet it.
Right.
Also, don't run away.
Don't feed
Yeah.
it
No,
food.
you just stand still, right?
You're supposed to curl up into a ball.
Alan, no, you're
Yeah,
not.
you're from Colorado. What
Yeah,
are we
what do you
supposed to
do?
do?
I don't know.
We had bear training on my overnight Camp of the Ozarks.
There's
thing.
really not that many bears out there. But
What
yeah,
are you talking about? There's tons
I think
of
you
bears
are
out
supposed
there.
to like
Literally
act
tons of
I think
bears.
you're
Yeah.
supposed to spread your arms and
Make yourself bigger than life.
yeah.
That's going to be hard for me.
I don't know why, but that doesn't sound like anything I've ever heard.
Yeah,
Isn't that
you're
a
not, I know
Backstreet
you're not
Boys
supposed to
song?
run away from it, but that's really
That's
all.
That makes you
larger.
larger.
And I think
you
you're supposed to like
larger.
fall on the ground and act dead and maybe cover the back of your neck.
Well, if the Revenant has taught me anything, is to
Just
never go
don't
outside.
hike. Yeah.
Yeah.
Stay inside.
One of the most intense bear scenes I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah, good movie.
Great movie.
You know, we're sitting here asking, what do you do if you encounter a bear? And we all have computers in front of us. Number 1, stay calm. If a bear sees you, talk in a low, calm voice and regard it.
Oh, yeah. Hi,
Regardless
baby
of if it has seen you or
bear.
not.
Oh, you're so cute.
Back up slow. Calm voice, not a baby voice.
Oh, sorry. Hi, baby.
You're supposed to, sorry, my phone was like lighting up like crazy. You're supposed to back up slowly. Never turn your back on a bear or run. I thought.
Also, probably, though,
I'm
don't
laughing
turn a bear
because
on
I
its
just messed that
back.
up, and I
Totally
thought number
different
3 was do
situation.
not. I'm laughing, so I thought number 3 said do not swear. It says do not stare.
Oh, yeah.
Give it space.
Don't stare at it.
That's a weird.
Number 5 reiterates do not run.
Yeah.
Number 6 says use your bear spray.
And then if none of that works, then you run.
Then
Number
just
7 says
scream.
play dead or fight back. So you got
Like, I'm going to
chance
fight a bear.
Yeah.
It's a great
I don't know.
story,
I
though.
think if you were like raised up your hands like claws and went,
I would be all of like 5'7".
Right until
so
that
it's
smacked
not gonna-
across the face. Right.
Also, they run as fast as a racehorse.
yeah,
they're
you're just.
fast.
In my mind, I
if
could
they
always
wanna-
have
if they're
outrun it,
wanting
but
to
that's not
kill
going to
you,
happen.
They're going to get you,
Yeah.
especially if it's a brown bear.
It's not the way I
a more
wanna go.
simplified version says remain still. Stand your ground, but slowly wave your arms.
Like in slow motion.
Go away, bear.
I feel like none of this works, and the bears are just
Yeah.
like,
I
this
think he's
is
just
so
laughing.
entertaining. Yeah,
I
just
bet
can't
you
wait
a
to
bear
eat
wrote
you.
A bear? Who wrote that? Was that
bear
747?
wrote it.
Bear
Yeah.
Force One.
Have
like
you seen
sign.
that Twix
Dip your
commercial?
hand in honey.
Have you seen
And
the
then
Twix
wave it.
commercial?
What's the easiest way we can keep it a human from running away from us?
So we can eat
Yeah.
it. Oh, let's just fill there. Have you seen the Twix commercial though, where the two guys are sitting on a log and they're saying it doesn't matter which one you eat; they're both crispy and delicious.
No.
And they're talking about the Twix bars, and then they go to the woods and there's two bears looking at these guys going,
Yeah, I
"It
saw
doesn't
that.
matter which one you eat; they're both crispy and delicious." Yeah, this stuff was definitely written by a bear.
Yeah.
Okay,
it.
well, let's get to the deep dish here.
It's the deep dish.
This one's interesting. I think
very
they all.
interesting.
This is another study. I like
Alan,
it.
you say every deep dish is interesting because you pick
Because I
them.
pick them,
Yeah.
right? And that makes them
But
interesting.
this is interesting.
This one is.
Yes.
I
Okay.
kind of picked last week's.
That's true. You did.
That is true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, you picked it as a dish,
As a
and
dish.
I picked
Hijacked
it as the deep dish.
So yeah, you hijacked it.
I did.
And tried to take credit.
It was
for
good. It was good. Okay, so a study is kind of. I guess the study is saying or suggesting that infidelity may be contagious. And so I'm not going to bore you with their 3 isolated studies that they did. I'm going to read you a little paragraph, maybe of one of them. But basically, they did 3 different studies, and they put all undergraduates. So it would be college students and grad school students in these tests. So you're looking at a young age group here. But they put them through a different series of tests. And basically what they came out with is this, that the research took these results to mean that the exposure to the infidelity of others makes people less likely to commit to their current relationships and more likely to seek other partners. And so what I got out of it is when you're around other people and they are normalizing or talking about being in other relationships or cheating on their boyfriend, girlfriend, or spouse, then other people in that circle are more likely to be involved in that. It's not for sure that that'll happen, but it can negatively influence you. So to me, it's like one of these other studies. We had one maybe 5 weeks ago, and it seems to just agree with what you learned growing up as a kid. Good traditional values, be careful who you hang out with. I can remember a pastor saying one time, look at your 5 closest friends, and that's the direction your life is likely going to go.
Yeah.
That stuck with me for a long time. Like, oh my goodness, I've got some messed up friends. No, they weren't. They're actually pretty good. They were kind of goofy and funny, but
That makes sense.
yeah. So,
Adds up.
so yeah, what do you guys think about that? Does that probably not shocking in some ways, but what are your thoughts on that? That the people that you hang around, if you're around a group of people that maybe celebrate this kind of lifestyle. They're talking about cheating on their spouses or whoever they're dating, that might make you or us more inclined to consider that. Pretty scary stuff.
Mm-hmm. I don't know anybody like this, which is very nice to say, but it's not that shocking to me, really, because, like you said, the people who you spend your time around, those people influence a lot of your life, more than you even probably want them to. Yeah. But the other thing that I think comes into play is when you see somebody not paying the consequences for their action, it makes you feel a little more maybe risky, like, hey, I could probably do the same thing and not suffer the consequences, because whether it's right or wrong, but you also know that there are consequences if you get caught. But when other people aren't getting caught and they're okay with it, then I think people are like, yeah, I'm not as risk averse maybe as I once was to something like this.
Yeah. I think that's good. I was looking this up, and I don't know if this is verifiable, but I saw it on 2 or 3 different sites. 20% of married men have admitted through these, I guess, different surveys to cheating on their wives, and 13% of women have admitted. So that's the general. Mm-hmm. But then I saw that when you include everyone that's within of age of dating, so not just married, 46% of people that are old enough and have dated have cheated on their significant other. So, I mean, it goes way up before marriage, but still 20%, 2 out of 10, and a little over 10% of women. That was actually a little bit surprisingly low. It's sad to say. I was thinking that maybe those percentages were a little bit higher than that. So, But I kind of agree with Allie, and you've already stated it, but it goes back to, like, if the article is definitely, when you sent it to us, we were like, oh boy. And David's reaction, I think, was the best. So what I get from this article is that people suck.
Yeah, people suck.
But, so the article is specifically talking about infidelity, right? And but the reality is, and you've kind of touched on it, is who you're around impacts you. And so, whatever they're doing, whether it's infidelity, whether it's language, whether it's stuff that they're consuming, whether that's food or movies that they watch or TV shows that they watch, it all impacts you, and it is contagious, and so that's why we do express so wholeheartedly, especially in the church, that you need to really be careful who you associate with, and you need to really be careful who you're around, because you may not think that their decisions are going to impact you, right? Like Paul says, be like the Gentile, but don't get caught up in what the Gentile gets caught up in. Mm-hmm. That's the warning that people ignore when they say, well, Paul says I'm supposed to be like these people in order to reach them. Yeah, you're supposed to really pay more attention to the second half of that warning. And so you need to be careful. And flip side, what if you're the person, right? What if you're the person that has these bad habits? You're negatively influencing the people you're around. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you can sit there and think, oh, my sin doesn't impact anybody besides me all day long. That's just not true. It's just not true. And so what you do does impact the people around you. So this is kind of a two-edged sword here that I absolutely wholeheartedly agree with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and this would go with any kind of bad habit or, what we would call a sinful lifestyle or indulging in something to an excess. The people that you're around will definitely influence you with that. Doing a lot of premarital counseling with couples, we always talk about boundaries and how to keep safe boundaries. And one of the stories that I use often is when we lived in Colorado, and I don't think I've shared this story before, so stop me if I have, but when Sydney was in basketball, we'd be traveling all the time to go see basketball games, down in Denver, which was an hour away, all over the place. And I had a mom of another child just say, hey, Alan, I know you're going to the game. Can I just hop in the car with you and go down to Denver? And in nervousness, I was just like, yeah, sure, no problem. And I turned around and thinking, oh my goodness, I broke a rule, that Ashley and I have, that we would not do something like that. So I immediately, when I got home, I just said, Ashley, I just did something so dumb. I broke our rule. I told so-and-so.
She's like, what did you do?
Yeah, I said, I told so-and-so.
The list could be so long.
So that she could ride down to the car with me. And some of you may be listening to this and like, this is ridiculous.
What an old man.
But listen to this, if you're questioning this. So anyway, so I had to call her back up. I was embarrassed. I'm like, great. Because Ashley was like, you got to call her and tell her that you're not going to be able to do that. And I'm like, I can't lie about it and say, I'm sorry, I'm not going, because I'm going to watch my daughter play in that basketball game. And so I had to call and explain to her the rule that Ashley and I had. I just felt a little embarrassed about that. It's just like, she was really nice about it. Well, about a year later, she came up to me, and this was after a separation that she had with her husband. They went to counseling and they were not Christians, but they went to a church and went to counseling, and he ended up meeting with a counselor alone. It was a female counselor, ended up having an affair and leaving his wife for that relationship. And she came to me, she said, you remember when you told me about your rule? She goes, I thought you were crazy. And she told me exactly what had happened. And she goes, now I understand why you do what you do, and I respect that. And so that was just a reminder. And the reason why we have these rules is because we're susceptible just like anyone else. Yeah. I mean, just look at the news and see what happens with pastors. You know, it's like every other month it seems like another pastor has fallen. So, you know, it's not like, hey, we're better. You know, it's like, no, we're fallible too. We can be tempted, and therefore we are keeping good boundaries.
Stay above reproach. Don't even put yourself in a situation where someone could accuse or claim or suspect. You know, I was going to actually ask, you know, to bring a little levity back in. Did that happen to coincide with the season when you started bulking up?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Ashley, we got to talk about these boundaries again.
She's like, that's it. You're going to start eating.
Right, let's
make sure you're not attractive to any woman.
I think, go ahead. You go, pal.
Sorry. I was going to say, I think that kind of shows the importance of, especially for those that are married, of being really open with, one, your weaknesses, and two, when you have sinned and fallen short. Not necessarily like to the way end of the spectrum of like actually being like cheating on your spouse, but just being like open of like, hey, I struggle with this and I need your help. Yeah. And we need to help me set boundaries to help me protect me from myself. Yeah. And that might sound crazy to people, but honestly, like, good relationships come out of that. And I think just that trust that you build with someone to the ability of like, they know you and they know your weaknesses and they can help.
Yeah. Yeah. I've talked to 2 couples within the last 6 months, and both of them were the girls in the relationship where they were being honest with their whoever they were dating or engaged to, that they had struggled a little bit with, you know, a conversation they had with a guy, and just admitting it. And I had to remind the guy, because at first you're kind of crushed, like, oh my goodness, you know, this person has been tempted by someone else besides me. And for a guy, especially, that can be kind of crushing when you hear that. But I had to remind him, look, I mean, the great thing is that she shared it with you. You ought to feel pretty confident that, you know, I can remember that happening with Ashley and I. We had been married for a year, and we were actually getting ready to go overseas, to be missionaries overseas, going through training. And she admitted that, hey, there's a couple, and she noticed kind of their level of intimacy within that relationship, just in the way that they were engaging one another. She said, Alan, I'm just going to be honest. Like, I look at what they have, and I kind of like a little jealous of that. And she was basically kind of telling me, hey, our intimacy level isn't where it needs to be, and that affection. And I was just like, at first it kind of floored me. But then I just got to thinking, you know what? I'm so glad that she was willing to say that. And there's not a relationship out there, I don't care who it is, where we're not susceptible to something like that. Yeah. So
that's kind of what I was going to say, is just, I would say hate, but it feels a little strong. I really strongly dislike when the response to you trying to be above reproach is, oh, well, so you don't trust your significant other. It's like, no, I fully trust them. Yeah. But when I get into that mindset that that could never happen to me.
Right.
I'm more
That's
susceptible
dangerous.
to that happening.
Absolutely.
Because when I think I'm above that, then pride sets in, and then it's all downhill from there. And so I feel like prideful people fall faster too.
Yeah.
And so it's just better to, like you said, just be above reproach. And I'm frustrated by David and I's generation because I said this earlier as a joke, but like, you old man, whenever you were saying something like that, because I do think a lot of people our age see it that way. Yeah. And I know we make fun of political leaders for this and all kinds of things, but that is very frustrating to me because, I mean, studies show like this stuff is contagious. Sin is contagious. And so
temptation is real.
Yeah. It's not wrong for me to want better in my marriage, and that it just the response that you sometimes get can be very frustrating.
Yeah.
We got to be better. Like you said, humans suck.
So just,
And we suck worse together.
Yes.
That was Alan's response.
Yeah, it was.
Somehow we're worse together, but also better together.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Don't go and become a xenophobe and just sit there and not talk to anybody else. Like, you still need people.
So, and so I think the encouragement for everyone is just look at who you're hanging out with. It really does matter. For parents, it's not a bad thing for you to encourage your kids to hang out with other healthy kids. And I know that we get a bad rap for that, and our kids don't always understand that. But watch who your kids are hanging out with. As adults, watch who you're hanging out with. Just two verses. Whoever walks with the wise becomes wise, but the companion of fools will suffer harm. That's out of Proverbs. And another one, make no friendship with a man. This one's about anger, but it's the same truth. Make no friendship with a man given to anger, nor go with a wrathful man, lest you learn his ways and entangle yourself in a snare. So we're influenced by other people's actions. So there you go.
I do think this article is very interesting on the fact that it can spring on this conversation, but also reading through the article, I don't know if you all felt this, but it felt like they're being like the people who are doing the study were like very predatory.
Yeah.
With the fact that they were like knowingly trying to get them to be like cheat on their spouse.
That's psychology.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what you do as a psychologist.
I was like, well, they set up the whole thing of the messenger and like the instant messenger platform, and then their profile picture was an attractive person to the opposite sex. Mm-hmm. And then like they were using these trigger words of like, and trying to get people to do this. And so I felt that was really weird.
Yeah. Hopefully they circle back around. You know what I mean? That can do some damage to a young relationship or whatever. And all these were like dating relationships of 4 months to a year type of a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like we justify like, oh, well, they were just dating. So it's better them than, but actually it is better than.
But it's pretty interesting to see how easily we can be tempted through that.
Yeah.
Just even through a instant messaging thing that most likely the person on the other end is not even real.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so like for how we were talking about how easily we can be ensnared with this stuff, and we should have boundaries, even more so because there is I feel like not necessarily a world trying to like prowl on us, but not necessarily not trying to do that. Mm-hmm. Especially with you looking at like how free social media has become with like what they're allowing to post and things like that, how easily you can find bad things online,
right?
Even on just Instagram and Facebook.
Yeah.
And so it's even more so in our world now today to have those boundaries.
Yeah.
Cause I know sometimes where like I've just had to delete Instagram because it's just constantly being bombarded with stuff.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so, it's good to have that, especially being married, having that partner to have the accountability there.
Absolutely.
And, but even if you aren't married, find accountability with that because it's so easy, especially nowadays.
Yep. That's a good word. Anything else before we close down? Good stuff. All right, guys. Well, thank you for joining us. I hope you enjoyed it. If you disagree or have some thoughts, please post those in the comments. We noticed that you guys are doing that.
Post nice comments.
Yeah.
Not mean comments. No need to be mean.
No 1-star reviews here.
Yeah. We encourage you to like, subscribe, and share the content. And we'll see you guys next week.
And one more thing to add. Yeah. We haven't been saying this on the audio side of things. Please leave us a rating.
Oh, yes.
Because that
Helps
helps
5-star
us-
rating.
It helps us
Yeah, not a 1 star.
get
4 to
more
5.
noticed.
Don't be like Allie.
And we want to become famous. That's our real goal
No.
here.
I'm already not cut out for
Yeah,
it.
she's already crying over the
You're
fact someone
commentating
said she wasn't
sad.
funny. So
Only you want to end up in Hollywood gossip again.
I've lived that life. I don't want to live that again. Anyways.
Bye.
We'll close with that.
Close us out again.
All right. See you guys next week. Take care.
Later.